All right.
Wait, is it waiters?
They,
Thinking.
come on, man, you're killing me.
All right, go ahead.
So now I have to do a really creative audio edit.
No, don't do that. Just don't do that. Do not do that.
So day 2, Ryan and I figured out a couple patterns. Well, I'll let you tell. How'd you catch your fish yesterday?
The biggest thing was heavyweight spinnerbaits, and just a slow drop on wood, timber, and
it was the necklace and the Guggen shirt. I'm pretty much telling you guys that's what it was. That's it.
So the drop-offs, and I did well on this kind of, big outside bend, steep bank, chunk rock stuff. But I think what's important, I fished all sorts of crayfish profiles and actions. I don't think that it's a craw type forage base. I think it's all bait fish. And you know of some folks that are doing well with, jerk baits and other soft plastic. Bait fish profile is pretty key. So
I'm going to focus on the banjo minnow today. I think the banjo minnow is going to be the jam.
Okay.
Nice.
But not the good one from back when it first came out, the new stripped down version from the infomercial. Where you get 100 different combinations for $69. But wait, if you buy now, you get 300
Generation
for
29.
$39. Only 3 payments of $39.99.
You do
Banjo
that.
minnow.
I'm throwing a jerk bait. Let's go catch some
I'm just going to
smallmouth.
borrow whatever they're throwing because they've already bird dogged this.
Pretty
I'm not
much.
going to reinvent the
That's
wheel.
what yesterday was.
Yeah, they've already bird dogged it. I'm just going to go out there and be like, oh, there it is. Guys, when it comes to pattern development, just follow Jeff Little, Ryan Jones. Yeah, that's all you need to know.
Let's go fishing, guys.
Let's do it.
So I did throw a scented jerk shad yesterday. This one's the 5-inch bad shad. The one I threw, I had on the rigging bullets, and it dives down pretty quickly. This one I just got on I think it's a 3/0 extra wide gap, so it's going to be a slower fall. And I'm going to try something I call skip it and rip it, where I skip it way up into an eddy and then I rip it right back out and then I let it flutter down. We'll see if that gets a few bites this morning in these shoreline eddies with these big boulders. Certainly looks like some likely holding areas. All right, dead sticking the jerk shads. Got the first one to eat. It was absolutely sitting on bottom. I skipped it up into, so we got this this cut in the island that comes down and slams into this shoreline. That popped right out. Got the first fish, largemouth. It was absolutely sitting on bottom, not moving when that fish hit. So I feel good. I felt a good clean pop. Legend Extreme, St. Croix Legend Extreme is the most sensitive rod I've owned. To feel without weight on the on the end of the line at all, it's a weightless presentation. To feel that pop of this nice largemouth really felt good. Good way to start the day, and hopefully that pattern keeps up and we get some smallmouth in the mix. So skip it and rip it is sort of like knocking down someone's front door and then handing them a plate of still oven warm, hot, gooey chocolate chip cookies. So let me demonstrate it and you'll see what I mean. So I always try to orient my boat in a way that I have open swing lanes with the rod. I'm actually going to get a little bit further back to do this. So I skipped it in and then ripped it right back out, and then I let it flutter. And the important part is that you absolutely dead stick it on bottom. Let it sit. Everything saw it arrive. Everything knows here's a bunch of stuff going on. And then, oh look, there's food. That is skip it and rip it.
Pretty spot you got there.
I like his foam eddy here.
Huh?
I said I like the foam eddy. All that foam stacked up against that swift current.
Glad I don't live in a house in the ugly place like this, you know?
Be a real shame.
Who would want to live there?
So I just pulled in here because I thought, hey, this deeper drop off with the wood looks nice, and I'm gonna fish it. But before I do that, I want to show you. This is as far as I got before the kayak stopped, and I'm gonna just take a minute to illustrate. That's 1.5 inches. That's what it takes to stop an inflatable. 1.5 inches of water. Whereas the alternative, well, Chad's experiencing it right there. He dragged it from a little further out. So, rotomold, inflatable, skinnier access, more stealth. 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches is what stops it, so it still gets through about 2 1/8 of an inch. All right, let's fish this thing. All right, Chad just hooked up. What'd you get, man?
A little largemouth.
You're taking some pics for
The catch 22 challenge.
tell me about it.
All right, let me finish. All right, so I was measuring that fish for the Catch 22 challenge, and what the Catch 22 challenge is I decided this year to use my platform to do something for part of where I came from, which is the military. I spent most of my adult life on active duty. I retired 9 years ago, spent 20 years on active duty, and dealt with a lot of PTSD stuff myself. And after going through the process of realizing how close I came to succumbing to it with all of the amazing things I have in my life, I could only imagine what it would be like for somebody that didn't have all that. And so I went on a couple of years search for the right organization to work with, and it just turned out that there was an organization called Mission 22. The 22 number is kind of a rally cry for the number of veterans that commit suicide each day in the United States. That number was never accurate from the beginning because they didn't use some of the higher concentration area of military people. And even with the increase through COVID and some of the other stuff, that number's, probably closer to 40. And so anything that I can do to raise both awareness and funds for that, I decided to do through a brand we launched called Fish Ops. It's going to be a brand with a cause. The OPS stands for Operation Prevent Suicide, Operation Provide Scholarship, and Operation Provide Service. And the Catch 5 and Catch 22 challenges are the first two, tournaments where we're using the platform that we pioneered and that we helped develop to raise both money and awareness for that worthy cause. So if you're interested in participating, you can just go to kayakbassfishing.com, and there's a Catch 5 and a Catch 22 banner right on the home page. If you click on that, it'll take you right to the event. You can do it from the bank, you can do it from a boat, you can do it from a kayak, you can use an official measuring board, you can lay it on the ground, put your foot next to it. It's really more about numbers. And for every person that catches 22 fish and you complete the challenge, you'll receive a dog tag with the Catch 22 logo on it one side and the Fish Ops logo on the other side. And we're going to do a drawing at the end of the year for a buttload of prizes. Just finished up the Major League Fishing Expo and had several big sponsors commit bigger, and new sponsors come on board for that. And if you're a brand that's interested in helping us out, we're not going to have any sponsorship exclusivities for that. That's a band together to brand together type thing. And so you can hit me up at kayakbassfishing@gmail.com. And yeah, we're just trying to use, you know, what God gave us, the beautiful outdoors, as the best form of therapy out there, but a program that Mission 22 developed to use science to help these guys and gals get better. Ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure, but when they need a pound of cure, they got it.
So pulled out the Ned rig with the rattling Ned rig from Guggen's. I'm watching a bunch of small 1 to 2 inch baits that are getting broken up. So these little guys are what's going after them. And this is actually one of our strains. This is the Neosho. It's got beautiful red eyes, a lighter yellow body to it. At full maturity, they only get about 15 inches, but they are nothing but muscle and put up a beautiful, beautiful fight. Love this fish.
Yep. That was about 3 inches. 3 inches deep there. Didn't touch it. And the wind is really starting to pick up here. It's gonna make it tough to feel these bites on the on an unweighted soft plastic, but something that does help if you get the scent on there. It's got this little crease right in the belly. Just kind of squirt it in there. So moved over to this creek mouth, threw right into where the current's coming out. What do we got here? You want to, I don't know what this is. I think it's just a really pasty looking largemouth. I'd like to catch one of his little Neoshos. I think he's a spot. He's got those stripes down the side. Yeah, you got a tongue patch. Yeah, got a spot. That's a bigger fish. Oh, that's a big fish. Dead stick in the fluke, still out near the creek mouth. This one's not coming easy. Jammed it hard. I'm loosening the drag. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's what we wanted. That's why we're here. Oh, that's a big smallmouth. Good smallmouth bass. Dead stick in the fluke. And the net. Yes. He whacked it. Look at that beautiful smallmouth. He's thick. So, sent a jerk shad in this big swirly foam eddy. Beautiful fish. Yep, that's smallmouth. Let's let this beautiful Oklahoma smallmouth go back to his deep water there. Got there, man?
So just caught this guy on a rattling Ned rig right behind a timber pile. So this is actually a two different species. This is our natural strain Neosho mixed with the reservoir strain that Jimmy Houston.
How do you know?
So on these you can normally tell your Neosho has a lot lighter yellow coloring. Your reservoir strains have a lot of brown. So if you can actually see, some of this has some yellow on it.
Yep.
but it also gets really dark brown up on the top. You can also tell by the spots on the belly. Another thing you can tell is the eyes. So Reservoir Strain has solid brown eyes. The Neosho has solid red eyes. So with these, you'll get a mix of the two colors.
Right.
And sometimes you'll get half and half. Absolutely beautiful, but they're normally pretty easy to be able to tell whenever you catch one.
Nice.
So also allows them to get a lot larger fish, where we're only catching 15 inch, and on the Neosho you can get over 20 inches on these hybrids, and they put up a beautiful fight.
Let's let them go. See you, fishy. So I put the regular jerkbait on. Let's see what we got. Get all those treble hooks down there. And I don't know, man. They're all so weird and hybridized. You don't know what you're gonna catch. No, I think this is I don't know what this is. It's a bass. What are you? It's got the spots on the belly. It's got a, you know, roughly there is a line down the middle, but it's also got like the vertical barring. I don't know. Yeah, I think you're a spot. Whatever. It's a bass. We got a tricky little spot to kind of thread the needle in here. I got one of these little cutbacks that just looks like it would hold something. Calm water back in that pocket. All this wood here, and I'm like swirling around in this stuff. Big old log jam here, one behind me. It's a testament to what the motor can do when you give it foot control steering. Hope I can clip onto this. So I think these little, they're actually inside bend cut throughs, like shortcuts for when the river comes up, but there's no flow coming through it. I think this is where these fish likely spawn, and this water temperature is nowhere near what I think they would need. But if you want to leave them alone and let them spawn, once they do start doing it, I think this is, you know, the area you would not want to fish, and you could go out there and fish current seams or current. Those are your pre-spawn or post-spawn fish. There's always, you know, groups of fish that are about to spawn and ones that have already spawned on the way out. So I'm thinking that that's good spawning habitat. These little inside bend cut throughs. And I'm gonna get back out into this main part of the river. Throw this jerkbait a little bit more. Alright, got this one to bite on the current seam. We've got some pretty active fish just attacking things right on that surface. Right in between the super fast water. Oh, there's a smallmouth. Just like the drop off yesterday that Brian found. Except I'm throwing today I got the jerkbait on him. Hello, smallmouth. Alright. Put you back. See you guys.
You even had like a human grin when you said, look at me.
A big smallmouth. rod
Of course,
stick.
we're getting ready to finish the video. About to pull out, and then Jeff snatches a little. Is that a large?
It's a largemouth.
A little largemouth. See how he disrespected largemouth because he's such a smallmouth snob? You guys comment below about Jeff's total bougie smallmouth mentality where he just flipped that.
That's not true, man.
Irreverently threw that largemouth back like he didn't have a care in the world. He didn't even look at it.
I love
Didn't
them.
Smile.
I love them. I just love smallmouth more. That's all. So I just cast the spinnerbait into this log jam here, and I didn't catch the fish, but he showed himself to me. So the follow-up of going back in with the soft plastic jerk bait, you know, you can't just say, oh, I missed him. No, you can get that fish. He wants to do something. Let him do something. He's right there. Maybe more than one in there. Sometimes you just see a spot that's so good you gotta pull over, take your time. Actually gotta drop the anchor right there very quietly, not blown around, and make sure you get the perfect cast in there. That's it. That's the perfect cast. What the heck? It came back with an eel. Oh my gosh, I gotta record this. All right, so that is fascinating. I caught this smallmouth and I got an eel that must have been in his mouth. What an interesting thing to see. Beautiful smallmouth. Let's look at this eel. Thank you, smallmouth. Oh, creepy. That had to have been in his mouth. Look at that thing. Is it a lamprey? I don't know what that is. Okay, well, whatever it is, I'm gonna stick it back in the water because I don't particularly care for it here with me. All right, I'm putting the camera down to let them loose. All right, if they're gonna eat squirmy tail looking, eel looking things, I'm gonna throw the mag fatties on them. So there's our little fella on the left, and then the mag fatties on the right. What do you think? Decent match? I'm gonna find out. I got it on the 16th ounce Ned head that I make with the Do It mold. We'll see. This does not surprise me. It's a nice, chunky Largemouth on the bag fatties. Where are you, Spot? Now you're a Spot. Huh. Okay. Got those orange eyeballs, stripes down the side. Yep, that's a Spot. He's got the patch. Orange eyes, stripes on the belly, splotchy. See you guy. Alright, I gotta catch up with the guys. They scooted down here a little while ago, so these little cutbacks, you know, we're inside bends. You know, the river goes like this, and there's a shortcut through. It only has water all the way through, and this river is up. When it's not up, which it isn't, the last little bit where it connects back with the main river, some good spots there. And these high bluff walls I like. Come on, tuck in that corner where this kind of clay bank transitions to that riprap. Good looking spot right in there. That's a very large fish. Oh my gosh. He buried me in that. Oh. Oh, he's down in this tree. He got off. Whew. That thing was huge. So I still haven't caught up with the guys. Hopefully I didn't pass them, but I know I haven't passed the takeout. I think it's time to get off the water. The wind has really picked up. I think I've had a couple gusts that I feel are in that 25 to 30 mile an hour range, and it's gonna pick up speed from here. So time to drop hammer on the